Okay, the experience that comes to mind for me is really about like trying to access like healthcare around like cervical cancer. And for me, just like how difficult it is to be like a Black woman navigating the healthcare system and how difficult it is to be taken seriously when you try and report pain. And so on my end in like summer, fall of like 2018, I just remember like having these really painful experiences while having sex. And trying to communicate with like partners at the time, I think for me really just sort of demonstrated how a lot of people learn about like sex and how to have sex through porn. And so especially to be a woman, to be a Black woman in a sexual encounter, sometimes like the experience of like visible pain is actually something that people want and something that people like get off on. And so trying to communicate like pain, what feels good, what feels bad, like it just becomes very clear that you're not in like a very even exchange. And so I remember going to the doctor about it. And at the time, like just not really being taken seriously at all, like trying to talk about like deeply intimate forms of like pain, right? Like pain during intercourse, like bleeding, like cramping, and just like not feeling like myself and kind of being told like, you know, it's normal, like take some Tylenol, it'll be okay, and kind of constantly being like sent back out into the world without very much follow-up or very much care, which felt really demoralizing to me because I know my body. Like I know my body. I know when something is off in my body. And so trying to like advocate for myself in those settings and to be constantly told like your pain isn't significant, your pain isn't real, you should just be taking Tylenol and like maybe use more lube if you want to, when really there's like clearly something that's like not right. And so I remember going to like women's college and like just pushing to try and get referred out just to get like further testing. And finally, when I did, and they did a pap test, they found like precancerous cells on my cervix. And it was like only after like months of advocating for this that I finally got any kind of like meaningful support. Had I not kept pushing for it and had I kept just sort of like being turned away and like accepting that, I don't think I would have been able to like even get to the point where we knew that that was something that I was dealing with in the first place.